Let's go! We are back! And it seems like quite a minute. It's a gracious minute. Thanks, I'm reviewing NXT tonight. This afternoon. So, let's get into this! We open up with Triple H, of course, addressing the issues mainly plaguing NXT. With the reported match supposed to be, reportedly being Johnny Gargano facing off against Tommaso Ciampa come take over New York. But after circumstances suffering an injury, Tommaso Ciampa, who is not NXT champion anymore, that has been stripped away. Johnny Gargano will still be the challenger, and he has to face one opponent in a 2 out of 3 falls match to become the new NXT champion. It's literally all I got from NXT. Thanks, Velveteen Dream, the North American champion, was involved in this. So nobody else, like Gunner from the Forgotten Sons. So everything was building up to the show, obviously, because we have a few weeks until WrestleMania. And pretty much because there's not really that much to build, thanks they didn't even do anything for the tournament build-up or anybody else in the mid-card of NXT. Anything else they built up was the NXT Women's Fatal 4-Way match involving Bianca Belair, Shayna Baszler, Shirai, and Kairi Sane for the NXT Women's title. And now Adam Cole, baby, is facing off against Johnny Gargano at a 2 out of 3 falls match to become the new NXT champion after Tommaso Ciampa suffering an injury. So pretty much everything was building up for, like, of course we had every promo obviously involving Aleister Black and Tommaso and Ricochet being together thanks to our tag team and still involved in the Dusty Rhodes Classic. That's a tag team tournament that they have annually for NXT. They also have the Forgotten Sons, and whoever wins the tournament gets an opportunity for the tag team titles of Income Takeover. So, and the current tag team champions are the War Raiders after beating the Undisputed Era. That's Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, just if you know him as Red Dragon, whatever. Back to TakeOver Phoenix, pinning them in a pretty entertaining match, and now they got to wait until TakeOver, so not that much build-up in the tag division. Thanks, 2 of them are already in a huge opportunity to have a singles match. So, the main event, with no other matches in the card, they didn't pay attention to the mid-card or whatever is building up. Thanks, most of the NXT call-ups are dying in the main roster. That involves Nikki Cross, Sanity, EC3, and Heavy Machinery. Thanks for not even that over. And they're currently not even having that much screen time. Thanks, WWE is only building up for the biggest show, and they don't have any star power. I heard Undertaker might be coming back, but that's not important right now. I mean, it is, because WrestleMania's with the same shitty build-up it had for, now it's about to be 3 years, since 2016. So, pretty much, I'm disappointed, but I'm a bit excited if Rollins could just win the Universal title, but I want him to change it. Matt Riddle works his ace off because he didn't want to say ass. He's saying he'd been here long enough to win the world title. Of course, we had Adam Cole saying with the Undisputed Era saying that he might win, that he's going to win the NXT title and win this Fatal 5-Way. So everything was building up to that, and of course the controversy kept going backstage where where the woman kept doing interviews with Kairi Sane and Io Shirai while Bianca Belair cut in, no Shayna Baszler for some apparent reason, and of course the Forgotten Sons had an interview. So the main event of NXT was literally just a decent Fatal 5-Way or just a spot fest. Like most of these guys are indie. Adam Cole, Ring of Honor, Ricochet from New Japan, Velveteen Dream, I don't know where, Aleister Black or Tommy End, if you heard of him, you've seen his work before, and and Matt Riddle, that's been around the indie scene for a while, plus a mixed martial artist. So pretty much you know these guys if you are a hardcore wrestling fan or a smart, mind you. So this was an incredible spot fest, running these all over the place. Huge super kicks off Aleister Black. There was a huge rebound rope into a moonsault by Aleister Black. False finishes around the wazoo. I didn't mind the matchup. They didn't try to go everywhere and try to pick up extra spots. They were actually trying to play smart, so they put Adam Cole in the ring, Velveteen Dream in the ring, Aleister Black in the ring for a while, and stayed down and slowed down the big spots because this is not a cruiserweight match. These are like the top guys on NXT, so you suspect them to have a bit more calculated, more worn out match and leave the big matches, big moves for later on to the match. So I didn't mind NXT, but they should have had an opening match. Had Triple H come out later. Kairi Sane and Io Shirai weren't supposed to. They were questioning the friendship like that really matters. They didn't do that for Batista and Rey Mysterio when they had a Fatal 4-Way, but they ended up feuding for a month. That's literally it. And seeing how this show went, and I know we have 2 weeks until TakeOver and WrestleMania. Of course, they don't even have a guest wrestler coming, so I'm just waiting for whatever is going to happen. Johnny Gargano didn't even have his own thoughts. Who you think he'll be facing to be? Who he thinks he could be facing come TakeOver. So, nothing on that. We don't have any major figures. We don't even have an interview coming from the War Raiders about who they think is going to win the Dusty Rhodes Classic, because of course, without our own uncrowned champion, of course, the top 5 guys are going to be involved. So, whatever comes your way. Just my opinion. This NXT show gives a 5 out of 10 in my opinion. I thought the build-up was alright, how they're trying to build up for NXT TakeOver. But very little feuds going on, very little storylines. The main event was good, but they should have done a few more mid-card matches to build up, especially with TakeOver. And TakeOvers before WrestleMania, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, they're supposed to be big deals. So I was expecting a bit more from NXT. It's a developmental show, folks. As much as it does stuff way better than WWE when it comes to character quality, screen time, and of course match quality is a bit better and more consistent, so it just keeps stuff a bit fresh. Sometimes I feel like it drags on, it doesn't keep the right direction on the right wrestlers. Like they should be concentrating more on Shayna Baszler's perspective, Johnny Gargano's perspective. The Forgotten Sons should have had a match, but all they did was focus on just the Fatal 5-Way, when there's plenty of other guys in the show that should be having more attention. This isn't halftime heat, this is NXT, so I was expecting a bit more. Especially when there was 100%, 80% of promo, and only 1% of match. Now, I love promos, but there should have been more into the show that could have got me more of a recommendation why people should, of course, use their money to watch some NXT. I would love these guys to get more viewing. Even though it has a cult following, Tough Enough is still, I think, a bit better and more documentary of young talent. And NXT is much critical acclaim that it has. I think they just dropped a bit of the ball here. This could have been a better show. As much as you want to build up to TakeOver, the road matters. You need to build a good road if you want to make a smooth transition into the entrance to get to your destination, if you know what I'm saying. I love the main event, but the build-up for the rest of the show was just, oh my god, Tommaso Ciampa. They did a distinct detail about Tommaso Ciampa's injury. That they should if you want to get a bit of detail, but they could have just said The surgery looks great, and it would take quite a while for him to rehab and come back into the ring. They had to do Ricochet and Aleister Black together, even though I don't know why they tagged with each other. I don't watch a lot of NXT, so obviously I don't know a lot about that. And, of course, Matt Riddle just smudged into the event because he's undefeated. Cassius Ohno did not get screen time. Just naming up some guys from the last TakeOver I reviewed. Not the War Raiders. And Shayna Baszler, there's just no direction on anybody else but just the NXT Championship. That they should, the world title should always be revolved around your main show, but I just feel like this could have been better. I still give it the 5 out of 10 rating. Thanks for watching, everybody. I've been a bit inconsistent lately, and I hope to stop that soon. Raw and SmackDown, I don't know, man. I've been in a tough mood, folks. Like, sometimes I don't want to review Raw. I don't want to review SmackDown, how trash it's been. And people have been saying that these shows were good. One segment doesn't outdo an entire 3 hours of show. This is primetime television. If you're telling me a football game, one play, got you hooked into the entire game, I'm going to slap you right in the face. Because it's just an iconic moment. It's not an iconic show. I won't rewatch Raw. There has never been a time when I wanted to rewatch Raw. Since, like, at least 2015, when it was the last decent time to watch WWE. Or 2016. Because there's no rewatchability. As much as the New Day, as much as I don't mind Seth Rollins, as much as I don't mind Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns, their tag division's a mess. This brand split obviously weakened WWE to the core with how much they don't have enough star power, as much as they don't have much characters. They don't have a good roster. They obviously did not have a big enough roster. I mean, seriously, this is how it was for the brand split. They signed, like, 3 NXT call-ups and then put them in the draft. Even though the only person that they were hyping up was Finn Balor. And he thought he was about to be overshadowed by AJ Styles, so they made the brand split. I think that's my only reason why they would make the brand split. To have the longest reigning NXT champion there and then completely shovel him into the mid-card and sort of make him strong. Because the way it is right now, they gotta cut off the brand split come after WrestleMania. Because I do not want to watch the rest of this. That Universal title has to go, and Daniel Bryan is just a built-up main event, mid-carder. That's my opinion, and I hope to get more off the comment section this time. Thanks for watching. I really did not like this NXT, but the main event was great. It was really entertaining, and I can't wait for Adam Cole to face off against Johnny Gargano. Thanks for watching.